Hi guys, my name is Sahil Misra, and in this lesson I'll be teaching you how to play Zinda from the movie Bhaag Milkha Bhaag. Stay tuned. So in this section we'll cover the intro to the song, and it starts something like this. So we start with the third finger, or rather any finger you can do here, on B12, B string 12th fret, and the same finger can be barred also on E12. So you get a sound like this. This is a bar sound. Now some people also like to play it like this. So second finger on B12, third finger on E12. So both work. So whatever is your favorite thing to do, you can use that. Whatever works for you, you can use that. So I like to use personally my third finger, so I'll stick to that for this lesson. So I'll play down up, then I'll introduce some ghost notes into this. So I'll play down up, mute up. So down up, mute up. Then I'll go to B11, E11. So it starts with, so it's 12, mute up, 11, mute up. Then I'll go to 10. Okay, so far we have 12, mute up, 11, mute up, 12, 12, 11, 10, and here I'll just have one mute after 10. So far we have 12, mute up, 11, mute up, 10, mute, single mute. So up to speed. And here I'll go to 11. So we have 12, 11, 10, 11, 11. So this will be on 11. I can use upstrokes in this case. Okay. And then I'll end with two down ups again, mutes. So down up. So I get 12, 11, 10, 11, 11. Okay. The whole thing is okay. Also, if you notice that I'm using the third finger, but also my first and second fingers are backed up to mute any unnecessary notes. So suppose if I'm playing E and B only, if I want to have some more clarity into this kind of playing, usually this is used a lot in funk, so I can use my other fingers, let's say my first and second finger which are not occupied, to mute the main melody or the main tune happening in this case. So okay, so we'll demonstrate this with the beats. This is 80 beats per minute for now for practice purpose. Then we'll increase it to 106. So we'll go something like this. Okay. Now up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this section, we'll go for the overdrive part for the song. We'll go something like this. Okay, starting with the E5 power chord. So we have an E5 power chord. So what you all can do is you can put your first finger on E2 and the second finger on D2. That's one way of playing it, which some people like to use. I like to use my first finger on strings A and D on the second fret. So I get something like this. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll start with 2 downstrokes, down, down, and then I'll do 2 mutes. So which is down, down, okay, down, down, down. Sorry, down, down. So it goes like down, down, mute, up, up, up. So all of this is on mute. 2 power chords in the beginning, so followed by down, up, up, up. So I get down, down. Okay, once again, down, down. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Down, down. Followed by down, down. Down, up, down, up. So I get the whole section as down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, 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 up, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so this I'm doing on a relatively cleaner channel, but just for the lesson, let's do it again. So the whole thing goes like this: down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. So you might want to just practice the strumming first, the right hand motion, which is down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. Doing it with overdrive. While playing with overdrive, just make sure that it's very clean. I often notice that while people play E5 power chord or E power chord, it rings out, so that doesn't sound so good. So just make sure it's tight, it's very clean, there's no noise. So if you want to just reduce the gain on your amp, that might help you as well. So your whole section goes something like this: down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Okay, we'll check it out with the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll cover the chorus of the song, which is fairly easy. You have just 4 chords: E5, C5, G5 and D5. So telling you the chords, first is E5, which is you have open E, E2, D2 as we just discussed. So this is the form of a power chord. So the ones who are new here can understand that this is the E note. So when I play an open E, I actually play the 0th fret, if you will. So let's say this is my 0th fret. I use, say, another finger 2 frets higher on a string higher. So E0 and this is A2. And just below that on D2, I can have another finger. So instead of saying this is my way of playing, I just simplify it to an E power chord. But this form is very useful for us to learn other chords. So this is my E5 power chord. Shifting this further 3 frets higher, I get G5 because this is G and this is E3 and this is A5 and this is D5. So this is G5 power chord. Just below that I get another power chord C5. So this is A3, D5, G5. Taking this 2 frets further, I get A5, D7, G7. So this is my D5 power chord in this case. So how is it coming in the song? So it goes something like this. With overdrive, it sounds something like this. Every chord has to be just played twice, and just feel free to play this thing in your own way, like. Or you can also include two strums like I've done it. So also I think please refer to the video which I've created, so that's also going to help you in learning it quicker. As we say, monkey see, monkey do, so that helps. So doing it twice. Okay, doing it with the beats. Okay, doing it slow first. Okay. And up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing to note that while you're playing these power chords, it's quite possible to have a lot of noise. So have your first finger. So suppose if you're playing a C power chord, just make sure you play these notes in a way that the first finger is, it's not barred, but it's flat. So when I play these, the B and E are not fretted at all, but it's still blocking it. This for the safer side. And that helps me to play a lot with a lot of ease. Okay. Next we have a part which happens just before the chorus. So it's the pre-chorus according to me. So it goes something like this. Simply, it's just a combination of chords E minor, C, played alternately. So we have something like this: E minor, C. How I like to play it is just not trying to play any specific arpeggio notes on this. I just hold my chord E minor and I play the notes just following my ears. So I'll just try to play. I'll show you how I do it. So I'm just doing down, down, up, up. It's just following it by ear, nothing specific. So I get something like this. So I just do. Okay, I'll just repeat it again. Starting with the E minor chord, and this could be a pattern which you're using. You're doing down, down, up, up. So this is your formation. I start on low E for the E minor chord, and on the C chord I start on A, and for the D I start on D. So I'm playing, then going to the C chord, then going to an E minor chord, then going to C again, then going to an E minor, C, and E minor. Then I play a single D chord in this piece. Okay, so the chords are E minor C, E minor C, E minor C, E minor D. And I stay a little longer on the D chord and I stay for 6 counts on the D chord, so it's a little longer than expected. So for the chords E minor C, I just have it for 4 counts each, and I just suggest you all listen to the track again, and any questions you all can post it down in the comment section, or you all can also refer to my video link, which I've shared it already. Okay, playing the section. And after speed, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this section, we go to the part which is I refer to as the post chorus, which goes something like this. So in this case, we'll again start with the E5 power chord. E5 chord. This is, so it's quite simple. In this case, we have two downs, down, down. Then we have two down ups, which is on mutes. So all ghost notes in this case. So down, 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 down. So it's down, down, mute up, and then we'll play the notes E2, E3, E5. So we have so far down, down. So simply it's just a matter of these notes. Getting it clean is very challenging at first. So when you're playing these power chords, make sure you get down, down, E2, E3, E5 very clean. So you might be doing muting and get something like this. So just make sure the fingers are flat enough first to just block some noise, and get it clean. So okay, so this is part one of the riff. The second part of the riff goes something like this, which is quite similar to the first one. In this case, you're ending with E2, E3, A5. So instead of E5, you're ending on A5. So far we get this. First part, second part. Okay. I've seen a lot of people play this wrong. They just play the first part as the only part in the song. So it should have part A and part B. So the whole thing goes something like this. So this is part A and part B of the riff. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. So the next part of the song is actually the part which I refer to as the chugging part of the song. So this is where the song actually goes heavy metal. It goes something like this. So starting on the E5 power chord, we have, for this technique, I'll specifically tell you how to play this. You need to use a technique called palm muting. So where you're not playing the strings like this, but rather you're trying to keep the fleshy part of the palm, the side of the palm, with the karate chop basically, this section just ahead of the bridge. Now this is also used in a lot of heavy songs. So that is the kind of technique where you use palm muting. So if you hear, the sound is not always heavy, but it's also made a little chuggy by using. I'm not always doing, but I'm doing something. So that kind of technique helps a lot when you're playing. So coming back to the song, we have this technique. So you need to find a sweet spot for your hand and for your guitar specifically. I've noticed my hand, it's somewhere, I know where it comes for me. It's about let's say an inch from the bridge, and this is for this guitar and for my hand. But if I change the guitar, I need to still find a good sound for me, where it would sound good for that guitar and the gear I'm using. So okay. So for this one, what we'll do is we'll use our E5 power chord and we'll play. So we'll do 2 quick palm mutes, and we need to cut the sound quickly after this. So it's not, but rather it's needs to be very tight for this one, and it goes well with the drums also. So need to make sure. And use your left hand as well to cut off the sound. So you're having 2 downs. Okay, so 2 downs followed by down, down. So it's all downs, but you need to get used to the rhythm in this case. So the parts are, so just following by ear. This is first part of the riff, the chugs. So it's down, 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 down. Okay, doing it again. Part 1 done. Part 2 is okay. Sometimes I also go by ear and just use down ups for this one. So doesn't matter what motion you're using, I think, but as long as you're sounding good, I think sounding correct, it's all fine. So second part is so, and then you need to cut it off again. So this is my riff. So doing it slow, down, 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 down. So that's how it sounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Okay. Next comes the guitar solo. So I think this is one of those solos by Ehsan Norani, which is quite quick for the kind of music he plays. I mean, we all love him for the kind of bluesy licks he makes. In this one, he has played the role of a metal guitarist and done it quite well, I feel. So this is okay. So for this one, as you know that the song is based more around E5, which is also E minor actually, and it uses also the scale G major as the relative major. So the solo is something like this. So it starts something like this, and for this one I'll just tell you the scale, which is more important, and which scale you should know for this one. So let's learn the scale quickly first. So E5, E3, so E3, E5, E7, and A357, and D457, G457, and B5, 5, 7, 8, and you can actually continue the same way on E string. So this is a scale which we'll be using for this solo. There are different ways of playing, but I try to just stick around the neck in the lower region because after playing my rhythms, so I can quickly just jump into the solo. So for this one, we start on D5 and D7. So I play D5, D7, and this is my recurring lick which happens. So D5 7, G4 5, D7 and G4. So you might want to practice this a little more. I like to use down picking and alternate picking for this. It's actually only alternate picking, but maybe sometimes I use the down as well. So using that you can help build up speed. So just using this lick, I think itself will improve your alternate picking as well. So I'll just show you the lick. So you play this lick 2 times. So we have 1, 2, and you start on the 3rd time, but play only 5, 7 on D. So you get, okay, slowly we get, and 5, 7, and then you end on A7. So that's the E note, which makes sense because E note goes with the E power chord getting played behind. So we get something like, okay, so continuously we get something like this. Okay, I like to use my pinky for this. Some people like also to use the ring finger. That's okay. So I think that's also easier way to do it. So okay. Now we'll go for the second part. It starts the same way, but it ends on the higher E. So I'll show you what I mean by that. It starts the same way. 2 times you'll play the recurring lick. So we have D5, D7, and ends on B5. So it starts like this. And I use my first or the second finger. It's totally optional. So okay, I end it like this. So the whole section so far is as follows. First part, second. So the whole thing again. Okay. So I play my lick 1, then I play lick 2, then I play lick 1 again, and then it ends slightly differently. So this is the ending. So this is a little quick. So if you guys are familiar with the term legato, this helps a lot. So there are guitarists like Joe Satriani or Steve Vai. I would recommend you checking them out. So they have incredibly good technique for legato. So this is legato where I'm playing it once, or maybe not even playing it, but I can just start playing it. Just using my left hand, I can start playing. So this is legato, and in this case, luckily we have the right hand getting picked. So taking this part, what we'll do is, I'm using the same scale, the same G major scale I spoke about. So we'll play 4, 5, 7. Sorry, 4, 5, 7 on D. So this is. So I play 4, 5, 7 on D. Then on A, 3, 5, 7 as per the scale. So doing it as per speed, so it goes, and then I'll go to G457. So first it's D457, then it's A357, then it's D457 again, then G457. So all the four together I get. Okay, so four licks. Then I go for D457, G457, and I end on B5. So the whole thing is part 1, sorry, it's like this. So there are total 6 legato runs which we have to do. Okay, up to speed. Okay, so showing it again. Okay, initially legato might be a little difficult to do, so I'll tell you a little bit about the technique where I'm playing. So on electric it's easy, so you need to play the first note. Let's say I'm considering D4 5 6 7. So you might start with just, okay, so if you use these notes, you just play it once and use the other fingers to create the sound from the previous one, and just make sure your tip of the finger goes here and not the flat portion, otherwise it kills the sound. So I don't hear anything here. Okay, so referring to the solo again, taking all the parts for the solo, we get something like this, starting from the recurring licks. Okay, and then repeating again. And then the final legatos. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the bridge section of the song, which goes something like this. So starting with the D chord, in this case the chords are quite different. We have the chords D, A minor, then there is C later on and a G. And in this case again we'll use some palm muting. So holding the D chord, we'll play the strings D, G, B. So we'll play D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G. Please note, in this case B is not palm muted, but D and G will be palm muted. So you get close, close, open, close, close, open, close, open. So the last note basically of the pairs or of the groups, please know that it's not the same, and this for D chord, and then we'll move to A minor, and here we'll play strings A, D, B. So you get the whole thing as follows. So we get D and A minor chords as follows. So that happens for a while, then followed by the chord C. Now here I don't try to play any specific arpeggios, I just strum the chords and maybe arpeggiate a few notes. Then come back to a D chord. So doing whole section with the beats, something like this. 3, 4. We go to C now. We get the bridge as follows. We'll go to C. Thanks a lot for watching the video, guys, and I hope you like this one and enjoy learning from this one some of the key elements of guitar playing. Again, I'll just refer to you the video I've uploaded for the guitar cover. So if you want any questions if you still have, all can just get in touch with me. Please refer to the video as well, and see you next time.